Hello friends and welcome. I'm Sarah Liz and today I am sharing a quick card with you using some of the Spellbinders clubs for February 2024. This is the small die of the month that has a couple daffodils, a tulip, a rubber boot that is way cuter than it sounds like. And then I'm also going to use one of the stencils from the Stencil of the Month Club. This month, there are 4 different stencils that you can use independent of each other, which I love. You just get so much bang for your buck on that one. So I am putting together first my florals and I'm adding a little bit of ink blending, but I'll be honest, you don't really have to do that. These are so gorgeous, and I've made some projects without the ink blending and they still look absolutely beautiful. So I'm just going to show you quickly how to assemble a couple of these. This is the large daffodil and it just has a couple little pieces that go in the center. I put just a little bit of pale pink ink just coming outside a little bit. And then for this tulip, there is a little like debossed line to kind of show you where this middle piece goes to help you get it all centered up. And make sure you're still going to be able to see it over the front piece. There are sort of 3 layers to this one. So I'm going to make 3 of those. I have a teal, a purple, and then a yellow. And then this daffodil, he might be my favorite. He's got the little like trumpet that kind of goes off to the side, and I just love that about it. It has a couple quick pieces and that will finish him up as well. There are also a couple of like teeny tiny flowers that I'm going to add some ink to, and then there's a piece you can put in the center. Honestly, I wasn't even sure I was going to use these. I wasn't sure how much room there would be in the boots. We're putting flowers inside of boots. Of all of the cards that I've made with the kits for February, this card is my favorite. Like, I had to show it to you first. I had to make it its own video. It's just the best. I also cut out a bunch of the leaves and greenery that go along with this, and I'm just using a little mini pouncer to add some ink because they were so delicate and I didn't want to tear anything, trying to use like a brush to add ink on there. While I add ink to a few more things, just some really basic blending, I do want to let you know that this is part of a hop. It's just some crafty friends who also get early Spellbinders kits, bringing you inspiration so that if you already get these clubs, it gives you lots of ideas on what you might do with them. Or if you're new to the clubs, it shows you how far you can stretch them. Spellbinders has some of the very best clubs. There's just so much you can do with them. I will link below to everyone else in the hop so you can click on their links, but there's also a hashtag. It's right in the title of the video. And if you click on that hashtag, it should show you all of the other makers in this hop today, so you can see what they made. For the background on my card, I am using a baby wipe and adding just a little bit of moisture to some pale blue cardstock. This is Glacier from Spellbinders. And I'm going to line that up with my stencil. It just fits. It is a full A2, but it's exactly an A2. So I'm going to tape it in place. And I'm going to run this through my Spellbinders Platinum 6. So I have my rubber mat on the bottom, then my cardstock, then my stencil. And you can see how it sort of presses that design into the cardstock. Then I'm going to go over the top of it with my white shimmer ink from Delicata. It's not really going to change the color of that cardstock. It's just going to add some shine to those raised areas. And I love that this creates a really subtle shine that adds to our card without detracting from what is going to be a floral explosion coming out of some rubber boots. So I am picking up my boots with my sticky mat. This is just like a cheap Amazon sticky mat that I use instead of press and seal because I don't work well with things that are flimsy, like I'm a hot mess. And I'm going to glue my boots together so I can work with them as a single piece. And then I've added some foam tape, really thin slivers around the outside edges and then a little bit at the bottom because I am just going to start tucking my flowers into those boots. And I'll be honest, I probably fiddled with this arrangement for half an hour. I'm not a great floral arranger. Like, I'm very happy with it, how it turned out, but I hem and I haw and I move things like half of a millimeter. For this flower, I wanted one of them to sort of lean off to the side. So I'm just very delicately with my fingers sort of curving that paper, moving those fibers so I can have that flower moving off to the side a little bit. And then I wanted to create a sort of visual triangle on the left and then stick with my odd numbers. And once I get everything where I think I want it, I'm going to lay my sticky mat starting in the bottom left corner on top and try to pick everything up. Now there was a little too much. We have a lot going on here, but I'm going to start by just trying to attach my flowers and stems to the boots so that this functions more as a single piece. And it's easy enough to add some of those leaves back in because it is a clear mat, right? It's very slightly cloudy, but easy enough to do. So I'm going to carefully flip things and kind of add that back in where I think they're going to fit best. If you are new to my channel, I am a heavy die cutter, right? This kind of card where we're assembling a series of die cuts, and then tomorrow I'll have a video with 3 more cards from the club kits trying to stretch these dies and get new looks from them. That's what I do around here. I'd love it if you took a look around and maybe subscribe if you like what you see. So I have added glue to the back of my flowers and my stems and then to my foam tape as well, just so I have a little bit of wiggle room, but I shouldn't need to wiggle much. And because I have had pieces like falling off my sticky mat, I'm actually going to lay my blue cardstock onto the sticky mat instead of the sticky mat onto the cardstock, and things lined up beautifully. I think I will start doing that more often anymore, especially for pieces like this where there's a lot going on. I'm going to finish my arrangement by adding those little bitty pink flowers, and then I wanted a teeny tiny mat, just like the tiniest little fraction of an inch. So I'm going to grab some white cardstock just to help with contrast, make sure I get everything lined up. That's about a 1/16 of an inch all the way around. And so that's just to help frame it out. And then I can go ahead and add that onto my card base, and I'll have a nice white border around the outside as well. I have quite a bit of dimension from all the layers on the flowers and the boots. So I didn't want to add foam tape back there, but if you were going to hand deliver, or if you don't mind the extra postage, that would be really nice, kind of popped up a little bit more as well. So this is from the Sunday Drive stamp set. It's an oldie but a goodie from Spellbinders, and it has a stamp for like every occasion, every holiday, birthdays, you name it. And so I just stamped happy birthday onto a piece of scratch paper, and then I have this sentiment strip. It's from a glimmer set, but any like strip die would work here. I cut the strip out of some white cardstock, and I used the negative to kind of line up the happy birthday to make sure everything looks right. And then I can add my actual strip back in, stamp it on there, and I'm good to go. I matted this on a little bit of purple cardstock. I'm just trimming it to even everything out. Added a little bit of foam on the left because the boots are ever so slightly raised and I didn't want things looking all wonky. And that finishes up our card. I hope you guys have enjoyed this. I hope you'll click on that hashtag and take a look at all the other inspiration from my crafty friends. If you're new here, take a look around. I would love it if you would join us. Hit that subscribe button, give this a thumbs up, and I will see you next time.